Hello, welcome back to my shack. It's Ricky G0LZX. Today's video is just a little run through of my logging software and the software that I use for FT8 and FT4, which is all controlled via the logging software. I use JTDX, which is linked to my logging software, which is Logger32, and I'll show you a little bit about it and how it works and how it logs and changes frequency through the CAT control of the Yaesu FTdx101MP. Right, since my last video, you'll notice a couple of changes to the shack. It's been slimmed down a little bit to make things easier for myself, a little less complicated. One addition is the Yaesu FTM400, which I'm using for Fusion C4 FM, and that's the dashboard, as you can see, for the hotspot, which that radio is linked to, and the D-Star radio is on this hotspot. Okay, anyway, the ICOM IC7300's gone, the Yaesu FT710 has gone, and I've gone for one main HF set now, which is the 101MP by Yaesu. And you'll notice there's gaps between the sides of the speakers to let air into the radio. That's just for one of my my subscribers who keeps on telling me I should have a gap either side. So all my antennas now are switched, HF antennas are switched through that switch, and also on the back of the amplifier. So all my HF antennas are now available for this radio, so I can choose which one's best. Anyway, as you can see, the radio is on 28500 at the moment. It's actually on the vertical, so if I switch over from the vertical to the end fed, you should see the difference. That's on the end fed now, and that's on the vertical. So he's a lot stronger on the vertical than he is on the end fed. Anyway, the software I use, Logger32. So the radio is on 28500, the other side is just on 6 meters. So I boot the software up, this little icon at the bottom, it brings up Logger32. When that populates, it automatically logs me on to the DX cluster, which is this little window here, and then it gives me a list of my log entries up the top. So they're the latest ones I've worked, previous QSOs, worked and confirmed on what type of mode, and that's the input for it. So you see the frequency is 28500, so that now will follow through the CAT control of the radio. So we go back to 28500, and it's SSB in 10 meters. If I put in a command in the DX cluster, what should happen is it should populate all these columns. Each one of these columns shows me the activity on each band. So I've got top band right the way through to 10 meters. So if I type in let's see, show DX, where are we, 100, and hit enter, that should then, hopefully, it should populate all these. So it's populated this window, which is the DX spot window, and it's also populated all these columns from the DX cluster. So we're on 10 meters now, which is this band here, if I click on one of these spots, the radio moves frequency, as you can see in the bottom left. If I click another spot, it moves and it populates that window. So every one of these now, so if I click on the WX3, it populates this call sign. It tells me I've worked in before, and it's moved frequency on the radio. So if I click another spot, you should see the radio move frequency. So it keeps track of all the spots that you're working. On the plus side, that's for working SSB, but on the plus side, if I find a frequency which is within the FT8, FT4, okay, so let's try this guy, Whiskey Mike 5 Lima, he's on 28180, which is a FT4. So if I click on his frequency, it now boots up a different band, and it then boots up on this window my FT8 and FT4 program, which is JTDX, and now that should start populating with the call signs received. Okay, so we've got all these call signs, so that's automatically moved the radio onto 28074. It's changed the mode to data U for me without me having to do anything else, and it's moved the frequency to there. So if I want to make a contact on FT8, I just choose someone, find someone. So if I double click on this guy here, United Alpha 4 Fox Kilo Tango, it's called him, it's populated that box already with his call sign, and if he comes back to me, which he has done, it sent my received signal back to him, and now it's automatically logged him on this as a contact, so everything was automatically logged. So I'll try and show you that again. He sent a 7.3, and I've sent mine back, he sent mine to him. So if I pick a clear frequency, let's see, let's get that without light. If I pick a clear frequency, which is a bit busy at the moment, pick here, and I'll call, wait to see who else was calling first, clear that. So I click on this W9 station, so I'm calling him now. As you can see, it's transmitting back to him. It's populated this little box as well, gives me all his details. If it comes back with a contact, it should bring another little box up if he replies back to me, which is the logging box, and that should put all his details in there, which it has done. You see it flash up, and that has automatically logged that call sign in there. So it makes running FT8 and FT4 really, really simple. Once this guy's come back again, once he sends us 73, which he has done. Now if I want to change bands, there's a band button on the bottom, so I can move bands. So I click on 12 meters, it automatically puts the radio onto 12 meters and the logging software onto 12 meters. And if I want to go back to normal operation USB mode, so I'll go back to 10 meters for instance. If I click on the box to the top right hand side there, close that program down, and then open the radio port, I can then click on another contact and it automatically moves me back to where I was before. So it's gone back to USB mode. So it's very simple to use. It's a little bit difficult to set up. But once you've got it set up, it uses UDP and TCP to transfer information between the two programs to log all the details. So that's how Logger32 works. That's how I log all my contacts. That's how the DX cluster integrates with it, and that's how my band map shows me the activity on the bands. And this is really helpful. By the way, the different colours are to do with stations I've worked or I haven't worked, stations that I need, so they're in pink, stations I've worked on different bands, on different modes, so all the information you can customise, so if a different colour pops up, you can see at an instant if you need it or not for your log, and whether you need to confirm it. So I hope that's been a little bit helpful. Like I say, the whole shack now basically is down to 2 digital radios, the amplifier and the 101MP, and I find it's working really, really well. So I hope you liked the video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, click and subscribe. And I think I'm up to 351 subscribers at the moment, which is really, really good. I've got to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed. It really makes it worthwhile. 7-3 from Ricky G0LZX.